Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Library Marketing Show. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com, and today I wanted to share with you some tips that I learned recently from two very smart women who did a survey of Gen Z folks to see what kinds of communication methods they like with brands and how to communicate with them. I thought this would be really valuable for my viewers, so I wanted to share these with you. The study was done by Mariah Obudzinski and Marsha Francis Horner, and I am going to put a link to the article down in the show description of this video so you can read the whole thing. We're going to touch on the big points of this particular survey because a lot of us are trying to communicate with Gen Z. By the way, Gen Z is anyone born after 1997. They haven't put an end date on it yet, but the oldest Gen Zers are 24 years old, so they're not kids. These are people who are coming into their own professionally. They're becoming parents. They're getting buying power. They're adults, and so we need to start thinking of Gen Z as adults. I have two Gen Zers in my household. One is almost 22 and one is almost 18. So that just gives you an example of what this age range is. We really want to reach them with our library marketing. So the first thing that they discovered from this survey is that Gen Z values their time probably more than any other generation before them. They want to know the value of your library to them. So when you are creating marketing materials and doing promotions, you have to right away tell Gen Z why they want to be interacting with the library, what the value is to them, not to you, the library, but to them. That's what they want to know. They don't spend a whole lot of time on marketing materials that don't have that valuation right up at the top. The second point that Mariah and Marsha made is that there are 3 platforms, well actually they said there are 4 platforms that they prefer to get their communications on. I took the last one off. So the ones I think that are relevant to libraries are YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. They're not big on emails, they're not big on print, but they do spend a lot of time on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Also Snapchat, I pulled that off the list because for most libraries that's really not an option, and I don't think it's worth your time to create content for Snapchat. Of these 3, I think YouTube and Instagram are probably your best bets, particularly because Instagram has so many options for delivering content. You have reels, you have stories, and you have the feed. I think if you're going to put them in an order, I would deliver content to Gen Z on Instagram and then YouTube and then TikTok. If you have a small staff, that would be my priorities. But that's where they like to get their information. And then the third tip they have, which I think is really important, is to try not to use the slang. So there's a lot of slang that Gen Z uses. You can find it in the Urban Dictionary. In the article about this particular survey, there's some examples of slang. And they both say don't use slang in your marketing materials. Talk to Gen Z like adults in like a normal conversive tone. Don't try to use their language because they know most of us working in libraries right now are not Gen Z, and if we are, most of those Gen Z people are not working in marketing, so just keep away from the slang. So those are the tips. There's a lot of other great information in the article. I encourage you to read it. What do you think? Let me know by commenting or go to superlibrarymarketing.com and click on the Library Marketing Show tab to request a topic for a future episode or to nominate a library for kudos. I started a new thing on Twitter, by the way. You may have noticed I'm doing Library of the Day 5 days a week. So check it out and see if your library gets named as Library of the Day. Because I had so many libraries that I want to call out for great things. I didn't have, I needed another place to do some recognition. So I decided to do it on Twitter. But today, for the Library Marketing Show, we're giving kudos to the Pflugerville Public Library in Texas. I'm putting the link to this article. It's a great article down in the show description. Recently, to kind of highlight what happens when books get banned, they did this Instagram post which went viral, which very rarely happens in the library world. But they basically took all of the books off of their shelves that could be banned or were considered controversial, and you can see that's what their shelves look like. There's nothing on there, and they talk about that. And I thought that was a really clever way to demonstrate what banning books and censoring books does to a community's library. So kudos to Pflugerville for coming up with that great promotion. Thank you for watching. I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment on my videos, share them with other people working in the library world. I really appreciate all of you spending a little time with me every week, and I'll see you next time.